Hello everybody and welcome. My name's Dr. Mieke Witsel and I'm a senior lecturer with the School of Business and Tourism, and more specifically I'm a teaching scholar, which means that my research focuses on elements of teaching and learning within a higher education context. This study, the ontology of teaching in transcultural context, I heard some people say, what does that mean? In a nutshell, it's about why filling academics, teachers' brains with more stuff isn't necessarily going to help them become better teachers. So the conceptual framework that I built, and this comes mainly from my PhD, there's a whole body of literature underneath this, and it's about the concept of evolving competence. So in transcultural education, now transcultural means transnational and multicultural education. So what I did is we looked at academics who are teaching either overseas and short burst form teaching at other universities overseas, and additionally also teachers who taught in the multicultural classroom here in Australia. Now the underlying body of literature tends to focus on competence as being the epistemology, and this doesn't just focus on teaching, it could be medicine or nursing or all sorts of other areas, architecture. And the tendency is to focus on the knowledge and skills required to do something. So the idea that if you cut people's heads open, pour in more knowledge and skills, they're going to become better at it. And unfortunately, that doesn't really work. The Kickstarter for this work was the work of Gloria Dalba in 2005 and 2009, who highlighted the aspects of being a teacher versus doing teaching. And if somebody asks you, what do? You don't say, I do academic teaching. You say, I am a lecturer. And so this concept is a much more holistic concept of what constitutes evolving competence. So, but still, when it comes to the development of teacher expertise, there's still a focus on this quick fix mentality of knowledge and skills. Let's fix their knowledge and skills and they'll be fine, they'll be hunky-dory, it'll all go well. But the research actually shows that you need a more holistic approach, which is what we call the ontology of it. So this is a holistic thing, but I'm going to talk more about the ontology side, which focuses more on people's self-knowledge and the values underlying what they feel is right or ethical or proper. I took 4 case studies and went back to those people. And then analysed the lived experience of these 4 academics as they explored their competence in the transcultural environments that they resided in. It's not meant to be a study where you get saturation. This is a phenomenological study looking at their lived experience, so what they considered worked for them, how it worked, why they felt the way they did. These 4 were selected on the basis of their self-professed enthusiasm for and successful engagement in the transcultural teaching, as well as national and sometimes international recognition. They are the sorts of people who'd won amazing awards, and they've all gone on to do incredible things. Also, in keeping with the tenets of positive psychology, it suggests that there's great benefit in looking at what goes right rather than what goes wrong. So we looked at what goes right with these people, what is it they did and how did it work. Analysed them using a mind mapping software program. So, but just in a nutshell, what we ended up with, some essential, in phenomenology we talk about essence, the essence of an experience, and some essential aspects. What popped up with these people was that they reported developing a much more increased knowledge of self, a strongly extended frame of cultural reference, not only knowing more about the other cultures, but knowing more about their own culture as a result. They developed very strongly understanding that there's a need for and a value in multicultural education beyond this simply financial imperative. These academics felt very, very strongly that it was valuable not just for the international students, but for the local Australian students, and for the industry, for the subject matter as a whole. They developed a huge respect for their students as valued participants in the learning and teaching process. There was what's called a parity of esteem, and sensitivity, appreciation, compassion, morality, a strong sense of morality in their relationship with the students. There was no sense at all that these people dumbed down the curriculum in any way whatsoever. And that is about the ontology of teaching.